I haven't did a live feed in a long time, so y'all, your boy back on it. We're gonna do a little bit of wood time. We're gonna be talking about defamation of character, amongst a lot of other things. You know, sometimes you gotta take a break and come back to it. And I've taken a long break, and I'm here to give y'all an update on what's been going on involving this hate crime case, this government corruption case that I'm dealing with Douglas Christopher Hanson. Case number 1405 1429. I mean, 14C 42686. Sorry, I'm giving off my identification number. Normally I don't do that, but I'm currently under appeal for this case, and knowing that I'm under appeal, a lot of stuff that I'm facing is fake. So y'all bear with me, cause I'm gonna be playing some videos and I'm gonna be doing the whole 9 yards, and I might be getting a little feedback off my clubhouse. So I'm gonna start a room. So Douglas Hanson, in fact, made the world my PO, right? Defamation of character is a good one to have, teaching you guys about it, because that's what I'm fighting. But I gotta make sure I get on my other, because I don't want to get to talking about it. If he deleted from one side, I'll have it somewhere else. You So what I'm doing is setting my topic. I'm getting everything set up on my clubhouse. So I tell people, if you on my clubhouse page, get over, click on my YouTube, or not my YouTube, but my Twitter. That's located on there. If you click on that Twitter, you will see what I'm doing. Hello, Jessica. You will see exactly what I'm doing. First thing I'll do before I get into this is I'll post up my indictment. Sometimes I like to go over the indictment. The indictment is actually the charging instrument in which the prosecutor, judge, and public defender see. Um, so I'm giving a lot of people on my Facebook page. So if y'all got the Clubhouse app and you have a Apple, you could be invited to the Clubhouse, and it will let you go places that you never thought about going, sitting at home. So what we gonna do here is, what I want to do is get down to here. We're gonna click on this because this is a very important part, and it's called checkers. You see that is my name, Matthew Mayfield Johnson, Jr. And what I've applied for is just a basic typical job, DoorDash, right? Any job that you apply for must in fact run a background check, because if I was somebody's employer, right, I would want to know who I'm hiring. So I really not mad at that part. I'm not mad at that part at all. What I'm mad at is the fact that, hold on, me click on this Facebook page. So if y'all, so what I'm mad at is the fact that the prosecutor took a judgment, right? Took a judgment. First of all, when somebody look your background up, they don't want to read your judgment. They don't want to read everything that the law put on you. And when I say defamation of character, I'm saying that the not the federal prosecutor, but the state prosecutor, Douglas Christopher Hanson, Oregon State Bar number 9754454, basically corrupted the indictment. He don't even have an indictment. His indictment is fraudulent. And then after he illegally prosecuted me, he went even further, right? He went into my background and he made sure that the world saw the made up judgment. But when I talk about the indictment, it's serious. Because like I told the Marion County courts, if it took only 2 officers, right? Listen to this. If it only took 2 officers to arrest an individual, how many, and indict an individual, how many of them would be indicted? How many of them really would be indicted by the hands of a prosecutor who is taking the law into his own hands? And that's the thing I do, is I get high and I expose them, right? That's all I do. Y'all like get to the juicy part, huh? So let's read this indictment. So in case my clubhouse members, they just listening. So in the circuit court of the state of Oregon for the county of Marion County, right? The state of Oregon is the plaintiff versus Matthew Mayfield Johnson, the defendant. Now listen to this before I get deep into this. Remind y'all that the supposed victim in this hateful case is my very own wife. My very own wife is my victim, supposedly by the state. So I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to think about slander, what it means to slander, defamate somebody's character. How did Douglas Hanson do that? So the defendant is accused by a grand jury of County of Marion in the state of Oregon by the indictment of the criminal offenses of count 1, delivery of an oxycodone within 1,000 feet of a school, Class A felony, and promoting prostitution. Oh, let me do this. I want people to understand I'm not playing with Douglas Hanson. That dude took away my life and he defamated my character. I can't even get a simple job. I got my own studio. It's called Undercover Corruptions. And what we do is we make a lot of different clippings. We go over these clippings too. We pick out the technicalities. We point out the technicalities in the criminal justice system, which is the new day age slavery. Mind you, you will see me. I like showing my face, in some of my paperwork. So there you have me right here in the paperwork. You'll have me inside the actual paperwork too, and you'll see what I'm doing. So you'll see basically I'm a go over the Marion County Circuit Court probation package. Y'all can't see that, so let me get it down to one window so y'all can see it. I'm gonna be going over this, and the reason why I brought this up is to show you guys that the prosecutor didn't only throw just probation terms at me, he actually threw parole terms on me too, as far as making sure that nobody would be willing to hire me. We'll go over some of these bulletin points because these codes right here was supposed to be entered in on my judgment, but actually somebody didn't enter these codes. Douglas Hanson didn't enter these codes for one reason, because he knew if he entered these codes, they wouldn't amount up to nothing. Wouldn't amount up to anything but hate. It's just pure hate. And when people say they don't care, you should start to care, because what if it happened to you? What if you was put in a position and a judgment got placed on you behind your back and you had no idea of the judgment, right? So back to reading off the indictment. The indictment is flat out wrong, because if you look down here where it says date October 15, 2014, and Oregon law states that a prosecutor must bring felony charges on a defendant within 72 hours. In fact, if the prosecutor don't do that, then the defendant should be released from custody and charges be dropped. And that's what happened in my situation, right? My situation, I did 22 wrongful days on top of being illegally arrested. And how they caught me in this is because Douglas Hanson, and what I want to do is bring up an information sheet. I want to bring up an information sheet because the information sheet comes before the indictment. This is what was considered the actual charging instrument. And I think we better go down and see what that is. Let me see if I can bring one up to the forefront. And you know, it's so funny. When I did my work, I ran a background check on everybody. On myself, on my... Okay. I think I just got court audio transcripts in here. It's very important for y'all to see the information sheet, so that way y'all can get the initial arrest date, because I don't like making nothing up. So what we're going to do is, instead of going to that information sheet, let's take a look at the actual crime incident report, which was given by Roger Joe Smith with the Salem Police Department. And what we're looking for is the charges. I have to give you a breakdown of the charges, all the charges, because charges, you can't just charge a person with one single crime, right? And that's what Douglas Christopher Hanson did to me, right? But he made it seem like I had more charges than I actually legitimately had, right? So basically, the cops, if you look at this, and what I want to do is break this down from over here. You see where it says print date 5/27/2014? That is an actual date that we were supposed to be in court for what was called a preliminary hearing. This is in fact showing the courts that the prosecutor, Douglas Christopher Hanson, in the Marion County DA's office was not ready. They was not ready for the preliminary hearing. But moving on, right? the arrest date. You see where it says SMP 14/0/1889, right? This ends up, the zero ends up dropping into a dash to hide the rest of the charges from the original prostitution citation. And we'll get into that because after this page, we'll bring up the prostitution citation, which is going to show you that this number right here was never involved in the fact that my wife had contact with an undercover officer. Now you see where it says type of description. It's called a sex offense. Sex offense 1. Sex offense 5 of May 16, 2014 at 11 o'clock. Then it got this. When you have address witness protection program and you doing it properly, you will know that this also will be blacked out right here. This 555 Liberty Street, 5/16, 2014, 1 o'clock, right? So when we talk about the abbreviations, SMP, that stands for Salem, Marion, and Polk County. But actually, legitimately speaking, these people actually was, let's see, I have my volume down. Hopefully y'all still could hear me, but other people on my other live streams could. But these people actually didn't do a good job. I lost my train of thought. So let's go to the offenses. These people, when I say Salem, Marion, Polk, they also was all from the Salem Police Department. So the abbreviation should be SPD instead of SMP. And you hear Susan Tripp and some of my court audio transcripts state, ask the big old question, who is SMP? And they try to say it's the Salem Police Department. These people was wicked and crooked at all angles. Let me tell you something, I knew I was up shit creek on the fact that my public defender, my fifth one in, Gail Ryder, she started calling me niggers and she said that I was dumb. I didn't have no sense, and I was checking her. I was like, if you feel this way about me, then why are you on my case? Why are you representing me? Like, I legitimately recorded these people. So these is the offenses. And this is the thing that I want to make clear here is when I give you this breakdown that there's no other individual party involved other than my wife. So when I told you that the prosecutor wanted to make it seem like he dropped a charge and got me to take a charge, this is what I'm talking about here, is that he gave me a drug, unlawful delivery of oxycodone, right? And what we're going to do is, I love doing this. I love bringing up the evidence. I love bringing up the evidence while I go over their own information. Let's see if I could slide this over real quick. That's one thing I do is go over their contradicting information. And it's so funny because people act like I'm lying about what's going on here when in fact I'm not. I'm not lying about anything. Okay, I want to get this right there. So what we're looking at right here is the drug case. So what I've done is went and got the Salem Police Property Report, because if you know anything about collecting your evidence, then you should understand how to go and get your discovery. That is what they call information that was given from the police to the prosecutor. That's called a discovery. And this prosecutor make it extremely hard, and they withhold evidence that could either free you or find you not guilty of what they trying to charge you with. And in my situation, Douglas Hanson withheld a lot of information. He didn't even put the Salem police property report on record for these judges to see what he was charging me with. So basically, let's do the breakdown of this, right? First of all, again, you got me and my wife, Jessica Uriah Johnson and Matthew Johnson, right here. You see, if I slide this over and give you a real thoroughbred look at the Salem Police Property Report, you will see 14-1889, the zero drop. Um, I explain that a little more later, but 5/16/2014, and you see it says names, and then that S stands for suspect. So if both of me and my wife is listed as both suspects on the same police report through the same police property report, that means legitimately that we are co-defendants. So now, when you think about the delivery charge right here, the drudge unlawful delivery of oxycodone and the unlawful delivery of oxycodone within 1,000 feet of the school. Now let's take a look at what Douglas Hanson had as evidence. Y'all can't see the evidence on my Clubhouse. If you want to see the evidence, well, click on my Twitter. It's going live there, or you can find me on my Facebook, Matthew M. Johnson Jr., where we share the information. I know that on the Clubhouse you have to have an invite. So, and that's another way that I mix into the rooms and I share information as far as getting down to getting help. I really do not play any more of my recordings because while I'm on the Clubhouse, I understand that the Clubhouse have strict rules. So, with that said, if there's nothing that's being recorded, no court audio transcripts will be recorded as if I was exposing on either Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any of those platforms. Straight here, I will say that I control all the copyrights to anything that's planned. And what I want to do is take myself out of the picture here, go over the evidence. So, what we want to look at, since it's from suspects, right? And the reason why Jessica is listed as a suspect is because the prosecutor claims that he charged me under what's called a constructive delivery, meaning one or two person can actually possess the same property, which he bent the law and manipulated the law. And the reason why I say he bent and manipulated the law is because Douglas Christopher Hanson got over 23 years of prosecuting countless cases. Not only that, besides the fact that he's a prosecutor or an ex-prosecutor for the Marion County DA's office, he's also a powerful player at the Department of Justice, where he's actually a chair for a subcommittee under the Attorney Generals for the Domestic Violence Task Force. So, yeah, there's a lot of information that I have about these people, and I will stop at nothing because fighting for justice is serious, especially when you're broke. When you're broke, they do you any kind of way. When you ain't got it, when they know. So Douglas Hanson claimed that he dropped the unlawful delivery of oxycodone charge, and he charged me with the delivery of an oxycodone within 1,000 feet. So Douglas Hanson claimed that he had a whole bunch of evidence to charge me with the Class A felony over the Class C felony. Y'all see this if I can we'll look it up. For one, look at the evidence right here. Look at the evidence right here. Prescription pill bottle for oxycodone anamorphines fill of pills found by Dee Dee Bitterman Smith. 3 officers found these pills in my wife's purse, but yet I'm charged with them. I'm charged with my own prescribed medications. Ain't that? I mean, come on now. How can you take my prescribed medication out of my wife, which is my caregiver's purse, and charge me under a constructive delivery charge without charging her with it? My wife once told you, Douglas Hanson, that you picked and choose what to prosecute, right? So if y'all on my Clubhouse, please go check me out on Twitter or my YouTube or my Facebook. Instagram do not allow you to live stream because they got strict rules also as far as how many minutes you can live stream or go live. So I do not live stream on my Instagram, so you will not see me live on Instagram, but you will see me live on the Facebook and on the Twitter and on Lipgos if any of y'all got that. So, and another thing that I have to kill off, I have to go to the paperwork and I have to go here. I'm going to go right here. I'm getting... You know how I made it even like that? I hate that wall, man.
It looks nice. It's sparkly.
It's a girly girl. They say I'm nasty. What you think about looking at the evidence that's gonna be expunged? Huh? She said, "Hi, doggy." She said, "Why y'all keep moving my bed, man?" You can put it back upstairs at night time.
She's a friend.
She is.
I love this dog. Keep going. Always gotta check on the kids. Why does she do that?
This man withheld evidence. So let's get to the indictment. Oops, dang it, I clicked off of that. I need to click back on that. I want to get off the paper, the evidence. You want this? Are you in it to win it?
I still keep these just in case, though.
What?
These?
I am. I'm going to hang them over there on that window.
In the little one, too?
Against your window.
They can't see
me. I'm super fly.
Okay, so you went up there, you check on them. What was the results?
They sleep.
What was the results? Can you tell me what was the results? You went up there and then what? She sleep.
So, when you look at this indictment and you compare the Salem Police Department, look, the Salem Police Department, if you look at this, I gotta click off of the clubhouse.
That was the whole point of me coming downstairs.
What?
I forgot the battery upstairs in my purse.
If you look at this,
Oh.
I gotta go see some.
Oh, look at her. Huh. It is my friend. I wonder what she thinks about.
She think about you. She think about you.
Sometimes I still get kind of scared when I put my face close to her.
All right, Ms. Wakeman.
Here, we're asking the court to set $50,000 bail. Defendant, according to the reports, is a pimp for his wife. A pimp for his wife. When caught in a hotel room, because his wife is getting hooked, defendant is there with $1,200
This lady is
on
lying
him
right
and
here.
oxycodone, 50 plus pills.
I can't
He
believe how
has
they was
texts
slandering.
that discuss selling drugs. He is a B on the grid with a prior robbery 2 where he went to prison for 70 months and a 2010 unlawful use of a weapon where he went to prison for 20. He was sentenced to 25 months. I'm wondering if he also has a parole hold.
Oh no, you showed them charges where you looked my homie up.
I'm trying to check. I don't show parole, and did you show those charges when you looked them up?
I don't
Can you give us
know.
the case number from the...
And it could be that his parole is done, but I don't think so. That's 09 06 32669. It's a Multnomah County case.
03069? Okay, no. You have to be, all right.
Mr. Johnson indicates that he has completed his parole, his post-prison supervision.
Okay. Well, standard bail was 50,000. I'll set 50,000.
She proved that this morning.
Standard bail was $50,000. They put a $50,000 bail on me. They put a $50,000 bail on me for you having my prescribed medication in your purse.
She paid attention to it.
I can't believe this. And then when I do the paperwork and I get deeper and deeper into the paperwork, I'm just at all with why I can't find help.
Your Honor, we asked for a preliminary hearing on May 27th with a return to court for arraignment and an indictment issue on May 29th.
Right. Preliminary hearing May 27th, May 29th, arraignment on indictment of limited issue, 8:30 in the morning.
So this is where I bust him at because he said it. The judge said it right there. 5/27/2014. My public defender asked for a preliminary hearing on that date right there, and all they did was play around and they bent the Constitution, breaking it. Didn't give me a fast and speedy trial. Didn't give me a trial at all. They didn't give me a trial at all. For real. I'm mad. I'm sick for that. You not hear what he said?
Your Honor, we asked for a preliminary hearing on May 27th with a return to court for arraignment and an indictment issue on May 29th.
Right.
If the
preliminary hearing
indictment
May
was
27th, May 29th, arraignment on indictment of limited issue, 8:30 in the morning.
Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. If the indictment is supposed to be issued on May 29, 2014, what is it doing in October? And the judge, they say that a judge can go over another judge. Then why nobody listened to this judge Bennett? Let's see what my 4 say.
I have notes from Miss. This is a case that Miss Weiland has been appointed to. She would like to come back on this matter on the 4th day of June at 8:30 a.m. for a Rule 7. She will. Mr. Johnson will continue to waive preliminary hearing until that time. And I would like to note that we've received an offer, a plea offer from the district attorney's office, and we received some discovery, including a probable cause statement.
Discovery?
We
How
haven't yet
can
received
you
police
offer
reports in this matter,
somebody
so
a
she'll need
plea
to review.
with how
The
stuff?
reason you have it is
Yeah.
because she didn't waive prelim last time. She set it for preliminary hearing, which was supposed to occur on the 27th, and we're supposed to be here today on arraignment. So, what's the status of that?
Yeah, 'cause he didn't have no. He was not ready to indict me. That's why. And let me show you why he wasn't ready to indict me. Man, Douglas Hanson think that I forgot about him? No, I just took a little small break off you, partner. Hold
Because
on.
I know I've
Hold
proven
on.
beyond reasonable doubt by taking polygraphs that I'm not a sex offender.
Okay, hold on. The sex, hold on.
She
The
trying to
sex offender
explain.
registration rules
Are by
are by
statute.
statute.
That
And
means
that means that
Douglas Hanson
somebody went to the legislature,
went to his
and got them
partner,
to do some things, and put some things in a list,
and now he's holding leverage over him.
and the governor signed it, and there you go.
Governor ain't signed shit. They just implicated our governor into a heinous type of situation. I ought to reach out to her office and try to ask her about this. What list you put me on and sign me, and for y'all eyes, this is something that I did. This is something that I sent to the Oregon State Bar. I sent them the black and white. I made a copy of it. Void Marion County corrupted Douglas Christopher Hanson, Oregon State Bar. I voided him out. You a void out. You broke the Constitution. You don't deserve no job. I don't even know why you keep on holding leverage. And the way I broke it down.
You know what it is?
The Last Supper? No, what? The Declaration? The
The
signing
scene
of.
of this Constitution United States being signed. That's a good picture. That's a good picture. I like that picture.
Here go the information sheet. Y'all see that? It's identical to the indictment. It's identical wording to the indictment. It's a duplicate copy. Everything that you see. Let's see.
Look at that. Stop.
Stop.
That's how I don't shoot it down.
Identical. No judge signed this. No judge seen this. Found out that this indictment was done through the Marion County DA's office by Douglas Hanson. Let's look at his sheet. Let's go down here to 7. Do not have direct or indirect contact in any manner with the alleged victim or witnesses unless authorized by the courts, DHS, or juvenile courts. They put Jessica Johnson. They said not to have contact with my own wife. But there was never no restraining order. There was never no contact order. This never went to a court. I was forced out of jail. I was forced out on a $50,000 bail.
Alright, Ms. Wakeman?
Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the information in 14C 46286. Mr. Johnson indicates that he is correctly named. His date of birth is also correct. We'll waive any further reading or other advice of rights and seek Mr. Johnson's release.
Oh, shoot.
Alright, Ms. Wakeman?
That little
Here, we're asking the court to set $50,000 bail. Defendant, according to the reports, is a pimp for his wife, when caught in a hotel room.
So if they ask for a $50,000 bail, why isn't the bail on the indictment? Why is Douglas Hanson forging the indictment? Don't you people see what this prosecutor did? This is why it's defamation of character, because this man is controlling the indictment. Everything is done by the prosecutor's office. Douglas Hanson didn't even fill this damn indictment out correctly. Again, let's just play that video again. Let's run it back.
Alright, Ms. Wakeman?
Here, we're asking the court to set $50,000 bail. Defendant, according to the reports, is a pimp for his wife, when caught in a hotel room because his wife is getting hooked. Defendant is there with...
They can't even get their stories right. It's all over the place. Douglas Hanson wasn't even in court. Plus, I was forced out. I was forced out of a bail. I was forced out of a $50,000 bail. It should say $50,000 bail. It should have the clerk of the circuit court deputy signed this. Nobody. This came from Douglas Hanson. Douglas Hanson did this himself. They don't believe me. They don't believe me. When I tell you I went hard on Douglas Hanson, I went hard on this man. And that's why he...
Since the Miranda begins so early in the contact, he did not sign the Miranda.
His own officer admitted to me not signing Miranda. The judge should have said, what the hell y'all doing? Listen to this. Hernandez.
Since the Miranda begins so early in the contact, he did not sign the Miranda.
And let me play a video that show you proof why these charges is not real on me. Because I had to pretend to be my dad on this.
Hi, my name is Matthew.
Hold on, I'll call it the Sheik's video.
Hi, my name is Matthew Singer, and I was calling to try to get some information on my son's case.
Okay. What's the name?
His name is Matthew Mayfield Johnson, Jr.
You said Matthew was the first name?
Yes, I have a case number if you like, ma'am.
This is so funny.
I can only use a SID number. Case number is not going to help me.
A SID number? I can use a SID number.
So
I have all the information you need.
I have all the information.
Okay, go ahead with that.
1405, 1429.
She asked me for my state identification number and told me it was wrong.
That number is not coming up.
What?
Are you calling to the state of Oregon?
Duh.
Yes, I'm calling to the state of Oregon to try to figure out my son's criminal background and his charges, because he's been going really crazy and he's been trying to kill himself several times, and I'm wondering what's going on and what's causing him to do this. And he's been telling me that he's been faces some illegal charges down there in Marion County.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
what did you say his middle name was?
his middle name is Mayfield. Is same as mine, ma'am.
So let's look at these charges that
Is he
they
in
said
custody
I
with
had
them?
right
No.
now.
What's his date of birth?
11/6/1984.
Okay.
His own people was
Well, he's
telling
not
on
in
him.
custody at the jail. What information are you needing?
I'm trying to figure out what's his charges. He showed me a piece of paper which was a fake indictment is what he's been telling me, because he was forced out on bail for doing 22 days and he didn't see the bail on the indictment.
Okay. I'm not showing that he's been here since June of 2014 in our jail.
June 9th, right?
June 9th,
No,
he was
June-
released from
look,
June 8th of
June 8th.
2014.
I was
Which
forced
was a
out.
force out agreement.
Correct, yes.
So then he went to fight a criminal case, and what my son has been telling me is that
Let's
he's
go
been
to the
fighting a
charges.
criminal case on
She gonna
some
tell on
charges he were forced out of your custody on.
Okay. Well, the charges that he was here on was unlawful delivery of oxycodone, promoting prostitution, unlawful possession of oxycodone, and compelling
That's a
prostitution.
lie.
And he hasn't been back since then, so I can transfer you to the
That is
court.
a lie. That's what
and
the
take these
police
charges in
wrote
court,
down.
But he has not been in custody on any new charges or on those charges.
Look at that
since that
information sheet.
When and
says only
can you
2
tell me
charges.
exactly when he was booked?
time. He came in on May 16th,
May 16th.
and it looks like, let me see here.
Yeah, tell us what's going on,
Looks like
Miss Lady.
the first 2 charges, there was no contest, and they weren't going to proceed with charging him on those.
Uh-huh.
And the other 2,
The
I
other
haven't
2,
had any findings on those, so I don't. Oh, they no filed on.
they
them.
no
So
foul.
he's free and clear of those
I'm
charges.
free and clear of charges that I'm actually legitimately charged with. So they is seeing different paperwork.
Nick told you that.
And she just explained the whole thing. See, no contest means nothing, not enough information. Then he dropped 2 of the charges. So what the hell did Douglas Hanson charge me with? Huh? He know he can't get around this.
Since the Miranda begins so early in the contact, he did not sign the Miranda.
Okay, what's your
Where is it at?
You knew I was married.
What's wrong with that?
Right, it's the marital You're not a lawyer. I am.
You're not a lawyer, you're a district
I know my
attorney.
job. I know how to do it. And because you're considered a victim by the state, by me, that you don't have the marital privilege.
What?
He doesn't get to claim the marital privilege when you're an actual victim of a crime.
I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. You made me a victim because you knew we was married. Because you wouldn't have been able to subpoena me.
Yeah, I can subpoena you lawfully, which is what I did.
You was in the office for personal gain, is
By
what you
signing
did.
Walter Bigelow signatures through e-filing.
Yeah, and Walter
Had
Bigelow's.
to resign.
The reason I elicited his wife's statements was effect on listener. She's not here for this motion. Didn't need her to be.
Hold on. He
If I'm the
elicited
victim-
you. Listen, he said this. I ain't gonna put words in his mouth, but this is what I'm saying. Let's break this part down. Listen to him.
You wouldn't have been able to subpoena me.
Yeah, I can subpoena you lawfully, which is what I did.
So he agreed that he subpoenaed you, Jessica Uriah Johnson.
And not Walter Bigelow. The paperwork said and signed as Walter Bigelow.
By Douglas Hanson, though. It said by Douglas Hanson.
But when I confronted Walter Bigelow about it,
Let's
he
look at
didn't-
your subpoena.
He didn't know anything about it, so he had to resign because as the elected DA, what you gonna do?
Let's look
File
at your
charges?
subpoena.
File charges on your coworker?
He should have. I wouldn't have took his dirt with me. Just retiring is running from the problem, leaving me out here to defend myself.
Rod
And that's what I've been doing.
Rod Underhill too.
I've been defending myself. Let's look at the subpoena. Let's break it down. We got to bring up the subpoena. Can you see it? It says Walter Bigelow by Douglas Hanson. He crossed jurisdiction when he did this. He pretended that he was having a case. It says you are hereby
Even though
commanded.
it was by him, he still had to go to the DA to get a subpoena.
what, like you saying, I totally 100% agree with you. He used Walter Bigler's
Biglow.
signature. He used it. He used it himself. And when we started applying pressure, Walter Biglow went to Douglas Hanson.
No, we found out in the news that he was retiring, and when I read it and I dig deeper into him, he was a man of God. So I had to get personal, deep down and personal with him, on top of using the law and his moral beliefs and his oath of office. He couldn't do nothing and he didn't respond. It got to the point where they told me not to contact him, and I would need to get an attorney in order to contact the victim's assistance in Marion County. And he retired. So did Rod Underhill in Multnomah County retired.
Listen to what he said about subpoenaing you. Right? He said he subpoenaed you.
You wouldn't have been able to subpoena me.
Yeah, I can't subpoena you lawfully, which is what I did.
So he admits that he subpoenaed you by the paperwork. But then look what he turned around and tell Susan Tripp.
The reason I elicited his wife's statements was effect on listeners. She's not here for this motion. Didn't need her to be.
If you didn't need her for the motion, why did you subpoena? Why did you subpoena? Why is you playing these mental games? Why is you playing these psychological mental games?
Because he knew that he couldn't trust what I would say.
Yeah, cause you not supposed to be even on. He's not supposed to be doing this.
There's no charges that were supposed to be filed. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not supposed to be doing this.
He picked it up illegally behind the courts and behind the county jails,
making me believe that I had to come to court.
That's why Carrie Weiland didn't even know you was on her case, because you never was appointed to her.
She said my client posted bail, Your Honor. Just lying.
All right,
Your Honor, we're asking the court to set $50,000.
Hold on.
Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the information in 14C46286. Mr. Johnson indicates that he is correctly named. His date of birth is also correct. We'll waive any further reading or other advice of rights and seek Mr. Johnson's release.
That's a very important thing that he said. When he said when this attorney said that he got knowledge of receipt of the information, I'm gonna go over this one more time right here.
Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the information in 14C46286. Mr. Johnson indicates that he is correctly named. His date of birth is also correct. We'll waive any further reading or other advice of rights and seek Mr. Johnson's release.
Did you hear what he said? We waive any further readings of advice of rights and seek Mr. Johnson's release. So when I waived away those rights, right? No one can advise me of any rights. No public defender, no private counsel of Marion County. But they didn't listen to none of that. They went ahead and charged me by their own will. The DA's office did. I pretty much own the Marion County DA's office. I own them. I own the office. I'm moving all of them out.
Your Honor, we ask for a preliminary hearing on May 27th with a return to court for arraignment and an indictment issue on May 29th.
Right. Preliminary hearing May 27th, May 29th, arraignment on indictment appointed issue, 8:30 in the morning.
And this is the reason why Douglas Hanson wasn't ready, because he went and printed off the crime incident report on the day that he was supposed to be in court for a preliminary hearing. He was supposed to bring this supposed preliminary hearing in order to get this frivolous indictment that you seeing right here that he forged. And I always like to show people how Douglas Hanson used the Mac computer in order to forge signatures, right? He forged anything he want. So say for instance we wanted this judge signature to be on this paperwork, right? We'll just put it there. And it'll look so real, right? It just look so real, don't it? It look like the judge actually signed that. How is it that I'm able to then lift the signature, to then remove the signature? Douglas Hanson didn't go to no courts to get this indictment. He never went nowhere. He did it on his own. He did all his dirt on his own, and he thought that he was going to get away with it. And he's behind the scenes holding leverage over people.
I have notes from Miss. This is a case that Miss Weiland has been appointed to. She would like to come back on this matter on the 4th day of June at 8:30 a.m. for a Rule 7. She will. Mr. Johnson will continue to waive preliminary hearing until that time. And I would like to note that we've received a plea offer from the district attorney's office, and we received some discovery, including a probable cause statement, but we haven't yet received police reports in this matter, so she'll need to review.
Well, and the reason you haven't is because she didn't waive prelim last time. She set it for preliminary hearing, which was supposed to have occurred on the 27th, and we're supposed to be here today on arraignment. So what's the status of that?
They screwed me over. Carrie Weiland wasn't even my public defender. She knew nothing about me, but behind the scenes, they say that she contacted me. And if that's the case, and that's her defense, what I'm saying in a rebuttal argument is she breaking attorney-client privilege, right? But that didn't happen. And I stand behind that. She never made no phone call to me explaining to me that I should waive a preliminary hearing in order to give this prosecutor, Douglas Hanson, more time in order to charge me. It's a proven fact that I know what I'm talking about, and I know the law, and that I know what a fast and speedy trial is. And I'm behooved to say that all this has happened to me under a power and control struggle with the prosecutor holding leverage over powerful people within his very own political LGBTQ political party. Now, one thing that I have done is applied pressure to the ACLU. Matt D. Santos is now no longer there, so everybody that know about my case is resigning or moving or retiring or doing just all this stuff, and they not really compensating me for the pain and the suffering, right? So what we gonna do is I'm gonna switch this actually. Yeah, and I'm gonna get to this. I'm gonna speed up here.
Given the amount of potential liability you have out there.
Given the amount of potential liability, see on my date, my time in questioning, right? And I want to narrate this from my iTunes, so I gotta open this up real quick, and I gotta go to here.
Yes. State wishes to call the case. Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This is State versus Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr., 14C 42686. Defense counsel Gail Ryder is present with the defendant who is out of custody, Doug Hanson, for the state. Your Honor, this is the time and date we had set up for a change of plea in this matter. It is my expectation that the defendant will be entering no contest pleas to counts 1 and 2 of the indictment. And we have a stipulated agreement. UCJ offer worksheets have been provided to counsel and the court, and I can go over that at the appropriate time. I will say that this has taken extensive negotiations. I think this is a good resolution to this matter. I think all parties are ready to proceed.
This man is
That's
still alive.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I may approach, I have for the court a petition to enter pleas of no contest to counts 1 and 2, executed by Mr. Johnson after review with counsel this
They
morning, together
really
with a notice of
Went
suspension.
ahead and illegally charged you
Mr. Johnson,
and
go ahead
held
and
up
stand
with
up,
this.
please. Mr. Johnson, how are you this morning?
You can hear it in my
Mr.
voice.
Johnson, I have before me a plea petition. Did you go through that with your lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the things your lawyer has told you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you give up your right to a trial, all that will be left is for me to impose this sentence, which is, in fact, a downward departure?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone made threats or promises to get you to do that today?
No.
To the charge of delivery of oxycodone within 1,000 feet of a school as an 8B with a presumptive 35 to 40 months, knowing that there's a downward departure, how do you plead?
No contest.
And count 2, promoting prostitution as an 8B, presumptive 35 to 40 months with a downward departure pursuant to agreement, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay.
They couldn't even
Go
give
ahead
me
and have a
the...
seat, and what the state needs to do is fill in some facts.
Yeah. Fill your
Thank
lies
you, Your
in.
Honor. If this had gone to trial, the state would produce
Yeah,
evidence that
it should
on or
have.
about May 16th of 2014, at a location at the Shiloh Inn of 3304 Market Street, Northeast, room number 419, which is within Marion County. The defendant was in a hotel room with his wife, Jessica Johnson. There had been an agreement between Ms. Johnson and an undercover officer to engage in sex for money. The officers had arrested her. The defendant was in a closet, had come out, and indicated that he was there. The officers then talked with him. It was discovered through information provided by Ms. Johnson and the defendant after Miranda rights that he was there assisting her in the promotion of the prostitution. She had indicated to officers that she shared the money and the proceeds of the prostitution with her husband, which is the defendant. Further inquiry on the cell phone of the defendant was found text messages that were consistent with that. Also text messages in regards to the oxycodone, where he was trying to sell 50 pills of the oxy to a friend named Nick for $200. And that was found on the defendant's cell phone. He indicated that the text messages were accurate.
No, I did not.
We still don't know who Nick is, but that he had.
You don't know who
constructed
Nick is, but you
delivery
charging me of a
in that
delivery
location
charge.
based on the fact that he still had the cash. The oxy pills were found in the room in his wife's purse. There's a valid prescription for the defendant, but he of course can't sell those, and that's what he was attempting to do. So the
Attempting?
totality of circumstances was
But
that
I'm
he was
charged.
actually delivering oxycodone.
I'm charged with a
on or about
felony.
that time. The text message was the day before, as you heard in the motion. I think that would be sufficient for those pleas. In regards to being 1,000 feet of a school, it was within 1,000 feet of Hoover Elementary School within this county.
All right. Ms. Ryder, I understand that there's been an agreement between the parties.
I'm gonna eat this
Is there
all up.
anything else that you
All they lies, I'm gonna eat it up.
At this
Watch.
time, Your Honor, we stipulate
We
that if the state
stipulate.
were to put on
See how she
evidence
put
without any
words in my
evidence from
mouth
the defense, that
without
those are the
any
facts that
evidence
the state
from
would
me.
be able to prove.
Come on, that's a
No,
lie.
Your Honor, this is as Mr. Hanson
Watch how
has
she
said,
laughed, guys.
this resolution is the result of a number of different negotiated possibilities.
Oh yeah.
And we are asking the court to impose the sentence as stipulated by the parties.
No.
Certainly. All right. Mr. Johnson, go ahead and stand up. I've heard a lot about this case through the motions. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
I don't even know what to say about this. I've been fighting it for 14 months, and I stand here and tell you that, you know, it's not true, but I'm at a position where I feel like I don't have help, so I have to do what's right for my kids. You know, if I didn't have kids, I would see this through trial. But being that I'm a father and I love my kids and my wife, I would like to have an opportunity to show that I'm not the person that they made me out to be, the officers. I understand Mr. Henson's job as a district attorney and also my lawyer, Gail Ryder's job as my private counsel. But at the same time, I was never given an actual chance to show evidence, and I further would like to appeal it using my rights. So that's all I have to say.
Straight to the point. Now, why she listening to that? Listen to what an officer is telling her.
And since the Miranda begins so early in the contact, he did not sign the Miranda.
I did not sign the Miranda warning, and they sitting up here playing. You know, they going through the paperwork right here. Is what we on right here. And what Susan Tripp is looking for is number 11. And the way we showing the dementia on this lady and the forgetfulness of this lady is she's trying to read this,
You
but
signed this document.
you signed this document.
And in this document, you were stipulating to a plea.
It don't say I stipulate.
What I hear you saying is that
District attorney to
You want
provide
this
a
and that's called an
potential
alpha plea.
basis.
Basically,
See, they said an alpha
you
plea,
want
but they
the deal.
said no
You pleaded
contest
no
though.
contest
Which one is it?
because You want the deal.
Nope.
The state's willing to come off of a
This
presumptive
don't say a
prison
stipulate
sentence.
nothing. I don't say it
So
don't say
that-
I stipulate.
You can get a chance to show that you're a different man than these charges would show. And you're
Count
entering
one.
this
20
plea
years.
knowing what the state's evidence would be,
20 years in prison.
and you're saying, I'm entering a no contest plea
You
because
see that?
if I
I was
presented
looking
no
at
evidence,
25 years.
the state would be able to make their case.
25.
And that what I hear you saying is that you're entering that plea in part
In part.
because you believe that it's in your best
Of
interest.
course, if they're not
to
willing
enter
to
a
let me
plea.
put on no
Is that right?
evidence.
Okay.
Come on, man.
And you're pleading no contest in order to get the deal.
The deal. That's a lie.
Now, at the bottom of this thing that you signed, this plea petition,
Which
it
is
says,
11.
I understand that by entering my plea, I am giving up all right of appeal. Okay.
No, keep reading.
So unless the
She's trying
sentence
to explain. Can you read the
exceeds
contract?
the maximum allowed by law, which it doesn't.
Which it doesn't. Or is
Basically,
unconstitutional.
You're giving up your right.
She's
to
not
appeal.
reading the contract correctly.
So you're taking the deal
She did not read the contract.
and you're agreeing with the state.
Well, we gonna make her read it. That's it. That's
I'm
not
going
it.
to show I'm a different man. I'm going to look after my children. I'm going to take this downward departure,
I couldn't
so I
have fought
don't
this
go to
case
prison.
no better way, man.
which potentially could happen if I went to trial. So I'm going to plead no contest, and they're going to come out of the presumptive sentence
Nope.
and ask the court
Nope.
by stipulation
Nope. That's a lie.
to come out of a presumptive prison sentence that you might face if you went to trial. You might be found not guilty at trial, but you might end up facing a presumptive prison sentence. So, here's the question. You're signing a document as part of your plea that you're giving up all rights of appeal. You're taking the deal, and that's that.
And that's not what Miss Ryder just explained to me in the hallway. I literally asked her if I could appeal within 30 days, and she told me yes.
And if I may, Your Honor,
Sure.
I think that the statement in the plea petition is a bit too literal. Under current law, a person is entitled to file a claim for appeal or a notice of appeal if they can state a colorable claim for the appeal. Now, I know when you enter a plea, whether it's guilty or no contest, those rights can be very limited. But if the public defender's office, after consultation with Mr. Johnson,
After consultation, they never gave me a consultation.
Then a
Never.
notice of appeal could be filed, notwithstanding what the plea petition says. That's my understanding of current law. So while he has limited appeal rights,
He
he still does
have.
have some appeal rights.
Yeah.
I think that the plea petition is a little overbroad in its language. Because I think the plea petition is designed to make sure that people understand things are going to be very limited. That's my reading of the plea petition.
Your Honor, I know that there are, of course, post-conviction rights that the defendant has. That
Why didn't I get them then?
Rights. That's
Why was I
something
still not
potentially
able to
I
put
don't know. I
on
don't do
no
PCR.
evidence?
But
Why?
If there are claims that the defendant has against his prior counsel, he may be able to file appeals or PCR on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here I do understand that there's very limited rights in regards to appealing this conviction
Oh, you
and
sound
sentence. If it's an unlawful
scared.
sentence imposed by the court on the defendant absolutely has the right to appeal that.
Sound scared, buddy.
So, you've heard counsel explain to you that there are narrow rights of appeal. Okay. And by this says that I'm giving up all rights of appeal to a higher court unless I can show that the sentence is unconstitutional.
Oh, now you got a different tune,
exceeds
Trip.
the maximum allowed.
It's
Further
unconstitutional.
understand
That
a
secret
notice of
word.
appeal must be filed.
I don't care
within
about
30
nothing
days,
else. It's
and
unconstitutional.
that the notice of appeal must be sent to the district attorney, the trial court administrator, and the trial court transcript coordinator. I understand that if I apply for an attorney and I am indigent, an attorney may be appointed for me to represent me on appeal.
She sounds sick. She sounds
Do you
sick.
agree?
Lost.
Yes, ma'am.
Lost. She sounds
With
so
that.
sick, so lost. And with that, this is called a
I'll
petition
go back
to
and
enter
accept your
plea.
pleas to delivery of oxycodone within 1,000 feet and promoting prostitution with it.
She was
as
finna
I
say within
outlined
1,000
before.
feet.
I'll again accept the statement of facts that the state outlined before. I'll consider
What?
this a stipulated agreement.
No.
As I said before, I'll enter the guilty pleas for the record. As I said
A
before.
factual
I'm
basis.
sorry,
That's
just
crazy.
clear there was no contest.
See how
No,
she
I'm sorry.
forget
I'll
and
enter the
stuff?
no contest pleas.
She didn't even
as
know what
stated
she
on
was
the record
charging me
before.
with. The judge.
Right.
Come on, y'all need
Anything
to help
else,
me
Mr.
get my
Johnson,
story
that you'd
out.
like to tell me?
Nope.
No, ma'am.
I see
Okay.
y'all in the
Fine.
Court of Appeals.
Pursuant to the stipulated agreement
What? It doesn't say stipulated nowhere in
On
this
the-
contract. No contest. It doesn't
delivery of
say
oxycodone
no
within 1,000
stipulated.
feet of a school,
Defendant stipulate.
I'll find
They
that
put
you're
that
an
in there.
8B as in boy, 35 to 40
I'm looking
months
at
presumptive
25 years
sentence,
and they keep trying to scare me with
that the
it.
parties stipulate
No.
to both a dispositional and downward departure to 36 months, and that all general conditions apply.
Uh-huh.
The forfeit all items
Look,
seized,
she don't even know what she talking about.
comply with all drug conditions that are imposed as part of Marion County Court's sentences.
I bet.
Blood or buccal sample.
I never took.
license suspension for 6 months.
I did skip
Fines
that.
and fees of $200. Attorney's fees of $1,035.
But it says
And the condition that you
1019.
comply with the conditions of count 2. In count 2, I'll find that you're in 8B again, 35 to 40 months, that there's a stipulated and the court agrees to dispositionally and downwardly depart to 36 months of supervised probation. All the general conditions apply. All the special conditions of
Sex offender packet.
Okay, the sex offender packet. Comply with count 1. Defendant may have contact with Jessica Johnson, his children, and all minor children within his extended family, which shall be on the judgment.
What?
A blood or buccal sample, sex offender registration, fines and fees $200, felony $1,200. And
Look
the
at this.
$1,200 shall be paid from the money seized in 14-18189 Salem PD case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Salem PD
Anything
case.
further from the state?
Your Honor, I just wanted to let the court know and counsel know and the defendant know that I did have a
I
chance to speak
bet.
with Ms.
You
Johnson
can't let me know
yesterday
something I
at
already
a
do.
pre-scheduled meeting we had with an advocate by phone, and we talked a lot about this plea, and she understands what we were going to do today. She was notified yesterday when
He's
our office
lying.
heard that it was going to
He's
be a plea.
lying.
So
The
she
reason
had
why
noticed
I
at
could
least that she
say
wanted
that
to be
Douglas
present,
Hanson is
but that she
lying.
knew that I was offering a probation. She still was, I can let the courts know that she still was not happy that the defendant was
Duh.
plead to the charges,
You
but
used
happy that he was
wife
not going to prison.
against a husband.
And I do think this is a good resolution, Your Honor. There's been extensive negotiations.
No, it has
motions.
It's been no after
And
no
I do
after
hope
no.
that the defendant can comply with the probation, meet the criteria. We did have a lengthy discussion about the sex offender treatment, etc. He has to have an evaluation according to the conditions. But if that comes back that he doesn't need any sex offender treatment, then he doesn't have to do sex offender treatment. Promoting prostitution by law is a registrable offense, so he does have to register. I provided that to Ms. Ryder, and he'll have to sign that today. But it's not the typical sex abuse type conviction that the state has concerns of him having any kind of a sexual abuse to children or anything of that nature. So we understand that hopefully this will be a limited type of probation where he can actually comply and complete it and be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have judgments for me?
The UCJs,
Oh, that's
Your
right,
Honor?
UCJs. Okay.
See, I never got a judgment.
Go ahead and have a seat, Mr. Johnson, and I have to take care of some paperwork.
This is the registration notice.
I never got a judgment. They gave me this. They never gave me no judgment. They never gave me no judgment. What they gave me was this. A UCJ offer. This is what they gave me. They didn't even give me a UCJ worksheet. They gave me a petition to enter plea. This is the information that they gave me. They sick. So let's take a look at this where it says the judgment right here. You see that where it says the judgment? This judgment is actually located on the Checkers request company for a job that I've been trying to apply for. I can't even apply for basic jobs, and this is done out of California, right? Employees only. The report does not guarantee that the accuracy of truthfulness of the information as the subject of the investigation, but only that it is accurately copied from public records and information guaranteed as a result of this identity theft, including evidence of criminal activity, must be inaccurately associated with the consumer who is the subject of the report. And an investigation consumer report agency shall provide a consumer seeking to obtain a copy of a report or making a request of a review file a written notice in a simple, plain English and Spanish setting forth the terms and conditions of his or her right to receive all disclosure as provided in section 1786.26. So what I'm gonna do is go to down this report summary, and it says motor vehicle report clear, right? And then it says report information, first name Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr. My date of birth is 11/6/1984. That is in fact my phone number. Everybody know that's my phone number. That's my email. Last four digits of my social security is 8306. That is in fact my driver's license. So created February 17th, 2021. So this is the accurate, right? Accurate information. Motor vehicle report cleared, right? So all my information, a violation, I just paid the ticket. So of course, I got a ticket on there. I paid it though. So that's telling you the code to the tickets that I've got. So what we gonna do? Let's click out of there. And you see that I'm challenging it. I'm challenging everything that's happening to me, but I'm doing it in such a way like so what I do Birdman put me on when I was just so we go right here and we go again and we read the information right here, and it's basically this is the kind of information that Douglas Hanson has taken me through. I have thank you for your proposal of entering an independent contract engagement with the Postmate. And this is defamation of character. So when my story come out, Postmate and all them is gonna feel sad for me, and Uber Eats and all them, they gonna feel sad for me, right? Postmate is considering rejecting your proposal to enter into an independent contract engagement with Postmate based on in whole or part of information consented in screening report included the following with specific items identified in the report prepared by checkers. Charges: delivery of an oxycodone within 1,000 feet of a school. Disposition: convicted, July 9, 2015. Y'all just heard the court audio transcript. You heard the contradicting things inside of that, promoting prostitution, right? But what I want to show you, of course, it got all these different rules that I go through right here. So what I want to show you is what Douglas Hanson actually did, and this is actually an updated one. You see where it says report summary, the social security number trace completed. Then you see where it says sex offender
search clear, right? Then you got global watch list search clear. Then you got national search completed, federal search clear, county searches considered. This is my background, and what I'm leading y'all to is this judgment. I'm gonna show you how this prosecutor is defamating my character and making it extremely hard for any employer that look at or run a background check on me. They gonna get my whole judgment. Watch, they gonna get this whole judgment as I keep on going down here. Considered. How are you considering me when my name is correct, Matthew Johnson? That is my date of birth. That is my number. That is my social security number. You considering me to have this job, right? And I did this again. I filled out another one February 18, 2021 at 3:36. This is an accurate report, right? Social Security, they finally completed that. That came back. So now I'm in the clear for the sex offender search and the global watch search. In the national search, I completed that. Federal search, I'm still in the clear. Now look at this. This is where the defamation of character. We getting to the end of my video. County search, Marion County, Oregon. Considering my type 14C42686. 14C42686. Where would that be at over here? Right here, 14C42686. You will see that that's the May 19, 2014. That's actually not the right date. It's May 16, 2014. And then it says Oregon E-Courts, Marion County, Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr. Date of birth, November 6, 1984. Right? Charges, delivery of an oxycodone within 1,000 feet of a school. So let's just get to this. Look, just picture you a employer, right? Picture you an employer, and I'm asking to work Postmate or Uber Eats to deliver food. Like the company is looking at me, but they not looking at me. They not hearing from me. They haven't heard my side of the story. All they get back is this information right here. So delivery of an oxycodone within 1,000 feet of a school. You see where it says delivery of an oxycodone within the, and then it's going to tell you a whole breakdown. But right here, you see where I originally was sentenced on July 9, 2015. July 9, 2015. But you see where it says proceeding dates 6/30/2015, June 30th, 2015. Their paperwork is not even adding up, right? This is the day that Douglas Hanson made this actual judgment. And like I said, this judgment wasn't there in my court audio transcripts. I never received no judgment. Sentence date for April 14, 2017. Now they lying. See how they double charge me? An original date. If you keep looking, they basically saying in my background that I was just constantly breaking the law, right? Probation supervised active start date, July 9, 2015. You see that? But over here, the preceding dates is wrong. This is their paperwork against what was inside. So when they reading this, when the employer is reading all this, they like, dang, Matthew Johnson is a pretty tough guy. So what I recommend people to read is the Balfour Brief, the Donald B. Balfour. Read about Donald B. Balfour and how disgusting of a human being he was. They basically
doing me the same way, right? They created this whole illusion on me to the public that I've broke law after law after law. So they reading this is like conditions behavior. The following conditions apply general conditions, pay supervised fees, pay supervision fees, fines, restitution, or other fees ordered by the court. Not use, possess, control substance. Not use, possess, control substance except pursuant to a medical prescription, right? Submit to a breath urine test. Never did none of that. Submit to testing for controlled substance or alcohol use. And the probation has if the probation has a history of substance abuse, or if there is a reasonable suspicion that the probationer has illegally used controlled substance, right? And this whole time, the controlled substance that they talking about is actually my prescribed medication. I'm actually being charged time and time again for consuming a pill that my doctor is prescribing for me, and they not. It says substance abuse evaluation. Participate in a substance abuse evaluation as directed by the supervising officer and follow recommendations in the evaluation if there are reasonable grounds to believe there is a history of substance. Now, an employer is not going to want to read all this. When you looking at this, the world is not my PO, right? And that's what Douglas Hanson did. He basically took all these penal codes and he slapped it in to my background history. That's on my judgment. I've compared the same settings, and it's all mixed up and compact into here, but it's the same identical wording. Let me give you an example. So this is all the stuff that, and what I want to look at is the promoting prostitution case. See, this is a double dog jeopardy case right here. Promoting prostitution. You're supposed to say a victim's name in the judgment. Let's get to the promoting prostitution. Promoting prostitution. I'm looking at the actual language, and I'm reading everything. Comply with conditions listed in count 1. And when I look at this promoting prostitution, they got 2 sentence dates. They got one on April 14, 2017 from the original date to July 9, 2015, declaration 36 months, estimated end date July 9. Special conditions. The DA cannot give special conditions. The special conditions has to come down from the board. I'm telling you. And this is why I can't get no job, because of this right here. It says, where is it at? Comply with conditions listed in count 1, probation. Report to community corrections. Report immediately to Marion County Sheriff's Office, Parole and Probation Division. Never did none of that. No contact with victims, right? No contact with victims. Do not have contact with the victim without waiver compliance with treatment in court or probation officer. Enter victim's name. There's no, you see it deliberately says enter victim's name. So that's where it says do not have contact with victims without waiver compliance with treatment in court. And then it says enter victim probation officer, and it says enter victim's name. This is how I know what he did. was wrong. He threw the book at me. He threw the whole law at me, and then he took the judgment and he put it on my background, bro. He put all this crap on my background. So I'm never Multnomah County failure to report as a sex offender. I'm cleared. You know why I'm cleared? Because they dismissed the case behind my back right here. But it still shows up as a part of my arrest cycle. So what I mean by that, even though I'm cleared from it on this day, that and this is the time that Betty Campbell and them brung the police to my house and had me arrested. Some church people, right, man? And I'm still, and this is the proof is in the pudding right here, man. This is big for you. And like I said, Betty, you use all that where it says it at, where it's gonna tell you where both of these charges got dismissed, disposition, dismissed, but it's actually contradicting to the court audio transcript that I got. Man, this is so bad. I want y'all to realize what this man did to me, man. So let's take a look at this. I want to go back up here where it says 4/14/2017. 4/14/2017. I actually got a legit audio.
Of course, ready. This is Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. Can you do me a favor and keep your hands out of your pockets? All right, thank you. It's not you. Everybody's supposed to keep their hands out of their pockets. How are we proceeding today, Mr. Habacost?
This will be a disposition.
It's a disposition.
Information is back on December 12, 2016. My understanding through conversations with Ms. Fisher that this joint recommendation is to be violated continue. He seems to be complying very well with his probation in Portland. There's the email that came in this morning from the probation officer saying that he's doing well. So I know Mr. Palmer has a different.
They took me through 2 different courts in 2 different counties for the same thing.
Violate or continue.
So imagine the stress that I was going
violate
through,
and
guys.
continue. We're not extending probation. I mean, I don't.
He'll be on probation until July of 2018.
So currently, he's already on probation. Yes. So no need to extend. And
Then what the hell am I in court
what about
for?
attorney's fees and probation violation fees? I don't know what the agreement is, Mr. Habacost. What did you think it was?
Well, we didn't discuss that. I think there's a $25 probationary fee that asks the court not to impose the fees of
$215 from last year.
Next line is applies on Social Security.
Are you on Social Security disability?
Yes.
How long have you been on that?
For about a year and a half.
Okay. Anything else you'd like me to know, Mr. Hollander?
No, Your Honor.
I will violate and continue your probation. I will not extend it. We'll just leave that probation where it's at. Sounds like you're doing some good things up in Multnomah County, which I can appreciate.
Multnomah
I do also
County,
find that your ability to pay currently and in the future is limited based upon your disability benefits through the Social Security Administration, so I will not impose the $215 in court-appointed attorney's
Multnomah
fees.
County.
However,
Failure
I
to
will
report
impose
as a
a
sex
$25
offender.
probation violation fee. I think that's mandated by law. Okay?
Last one, report. Mr. Johnson was very kind, giving me a bunch of information that help me defend him.
Oh, he slipped up. Okay. He helped the prosecutor with my information that I gave him, and then he
Good luck,
gave
Mr.
it back
Johnson.
to me.
Keep up the good work.
See that? And then if you see right here on that case, right, they dismissed it. They disposition dismissed. And then no complaint. But they throwing this whole thing on me. He threw this whole thing on my background. So thank you guys for watching this. I'm gonna get back onto it. Like I said, if you look and pay attention, Douglas Hanson basically threw the whole book at me. There was nothing I can do. There was nothing I could do. He put on a whole bunch of different evidence and he hid out the facts. And what I wanted to show you is it right here. Plaintiff, and then it says the witnesses for the plaintiff, none. Defendant, none. But Douglas Hanson indeed called on Roger Smith and Eric Hernandez. And their names are supposed to be right there. Plaintiff, which is the state witnesses, should say Eric Hernandez and Roger Smith. And he cheated and kept them secret away from my appeal paperwork. Y'all follow me under these circumstances. I thank you guys for watching. You guys have a blessed